Hey everyone, okay, so today I'm going to be giving you the first impressions of the new Huda Beauty Concealer, and this is the Overachiever Concealer. So here it is. I'm going to be using 3 shades today, just for fun. I've never used this before, and I've never used the Overachiever foundation either, so I can't compare it. So the way that I'm going to do this, I'm actually going to use her little brush as well, so we might be here for a while, so I think I'll probably use a beauty blender as well. I'm going to use a shade all over my face as foundation, because a lot of people now are using concealer as foundation because the pigmentation is so high. So we're going to do that, and then we'll pick a lighter shade for foundation, and we'll do contour as well. I don't know if this is going to be the right shade, so this is just the one that I picked up. It's Cookie Dough. So the first thing to notice is that it's got 10 mils of product, which is bravo, because most concealers have anywhere between 1.5 to 4 mils of concealer. So this is 10, this is great. I know that the Too Faced has 15 mils, which is even better, but there you go. So first of all, you get this kind of applicator tip, which is stainless steel by the look of it. Much nicer than any of those awful sponge tip applicators. They look good, but they just get rotten really, really quickly. So I'm going to try and apply this all over my face. I have no idea if it's the right shade. I'm sure you'll tell me, because I know you will. Just spraying my little beauty blender, make it moist. What a lovely word. I think not. Okay, so let's have a look. So let's do a couple of stripes, because we're going to be blending this out. So I'm going to blend this out with the beauty blender. Okay, so first impressions. It's not a terrible match for my skin. It's obviously a fast drying concealer. There's no doubt about that. And it doesn't appear to be one of these concealers that has a lot of light reflection. It looks to me like a very natural finish concealer. And it's full coverage. There is no doubt that this is full coverage, because I really didn't use very much there, and this product is still going. So I'm actually not going to put any more on, because I think this is enough. This is definitely enough. Now that to me looks pretty, minus probably the hairline. What do you think? That's a pretty good colour match. It might be a little bit yellow for my skin, but it's not too terrible. Look at the other side that doesn't have anything on. I tell you, this makeup lark is a very good thing. So I'm going to use a lighter shade as the concealer, and we'll use the brush for that. So I'm going to try Coconut Flakes. I don't know if this is going to work. This may be too light. So let's add a little bit to the corners, and let's just add whatever's sort of left. We'll add a bit there, shall we? Let's add a little bit to the bridge of the nose as well. We'll use the this brush as well. So let's start to kind of blend this out. It is a quick drying concealer, there's no doubt there. I might actually need a little bit more. I don't really want to go too Instagram crazy with this, you know, with the whole, but let's just add a little bit more, and let's bring it down just a little bit. So let's take it right the way in and up and over the lid. This is a really quick drying concealer. I do need a little bit more just on this section as well. Getting darker as I get older, people. I'll tell you. Poke this up in the eye, and I'm actually just going to go over this just with the beauty blender. I think we'll add a fraction more here. Okay. The interesting thing here, at least because this is a first impressions video, is it doesn't feel heavy and it does dry down really quick. Let's add a bit of color. So I'm going to be using honeycomb, and I'm going to apply, I don't want to apply too much of this. So I'm just going to apply it. We'll see how that takes us. So let's just add a bit of color. So a little, I hate using the word contouring because it gives the illusion of trying to create something that isn't there, which I don't like. Okay, that's too much. Let's blend that out. We don't want stripe, we just want a bit of dimension so that it's not flat. That's a bit better. And whatever's left, let's just really lightly add a little bit to the nose, not much. Okay, let's get a close up. So, this isn't powdered. It is full coverage. Do you know, I haven't tried the Overachiever foundation, so I don't know how this compares. This would be a good foundation, not concealer. This would be a great foundation because it doesn't, I don't know what it looks like on screen. This is 4K, but it doesn't appear heavy on the skin. Let's set it with some powder. So we'll use a bit of Too Faced powder for this, and we'll use my airbrush, and we'll just dust it on. Thing is, because this dries so quick, you're not catching when you're applying this with the powder. You know, like when you sometimes apply foundation and you do this powder and you do this and you notice that there's movement. Because this is dry, that's not happening. That's pretty good. That's pretty bloody good. Let's have a look. High coverage cream concealer. Should we have a look? Let's see how full coverage it is. Let's get some on there. Let's have a look. That's pretty full coverage, isn't it? You could cover, I bet if I used a bit more, you could easily cover that tattoo. Let's have a look. Yup. That's full coverage, people. That is full coverage. Now, whether or not you need or want a full coverage foundation, full coverage concealer is entirely up to you. I tend to prefer them because you can always shear them out or use less product. This went on really, really well. Let's add a few more powder products just for fun so we can show up just how horrific the other side of my face looks. So we'll add a bit of bronzer. Let's go over the bridge of the nose. We are not contouring. No, no. Let's add a bit of highlighter. Sometimes you can only really tell once you start to layer products. This isn't caking, is it? Oh no, it's not. Look at that. I don't know if you can see, but that came out really nice. Let's add some blusher. Picked up this one. It's the Climax. Don't mind if I do. Might do it now. Done. Right. Do you know, I think the Climax, very few people talk about it, the Charlotte Tilbury one. Everyone goes on about all the others. This is such a great colour. It's such a cool colour. Okay, so let's bring that up. It's that tawny kind of colour. And actually, let's, just for fun, one of the really cool things about makeup is that when you've done your eyes, I always like to apply a bit of the same blusher into the crease. So for this, I'm actually just going to eke out the crease here with this, and then just kind of blend it. And I blend up and out here. And I'm going to then soften this in a second. If you struggle sometimes with blending, then I mentioned this before, get a little touch of loose powder, translucent powder, and it will help to blend and take in the edges. Now, whether or not you decide to go high up in this section here is entirely up to you. If you have quite small eyes, then this is where it starts to show the color a little bit more of what you've got. And if it's in that kind of the same tone as your blusher, then that helps because of course you're joining on any of the contour. And what I'm going to do is take the center shade and I'm just going to apply that to the lid. And even though those of you who know me, the reason I hold here is because my eyes are older and skin moves more. So I like to create a stable base. We'll put mascara on and end this. There you go. So you can see here, it's more of a completed look, but it isn't adding any more texture, which is really superb. This is a massive thumbs up. Concealers lately have been going so well. Companies are getting things so right. And the fact that this has that metal tip is so much better than the bloody sponges, because they just get so filthy and just look nasty and irritating and just, unhygienic. But there you go. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Bloody marvellous. Absolutely splendid. Splendid. Links down there. See you next time. Let me know what you think. This is filmed in 4K. This is like real life. That's pretty bloody good. And there you go, you can see. That's pretty nice. See you next time. Bye-bye.